I'll wait.
Okay.
I was scrolling the TikToks and there was a thing and it was like, oh, have you ever been to this under the pier place at Redondo Beach Pier? I'm like, you mean
Oh,
Fashions?
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
I don't
The
think,
Fun
yeah. I'm like,
Factory.
it's not called Fashions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not called that anymore.
Yeah, it was the old arcade.
Yeah, and
And
I
then,
think they're bringing
yeah.
it back. They're opening
Yeah.
again. Uh,
Yeah, I have a story about the
yeah.
guy that used to own that, but uh, we'll tell that
It's not
off
for public
offline.
consumption. Yeah, I plenty of those
Yeah.
stories.
So, yeah, so here we are. Happy Saturday.
Yes. Happy Saturday. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I saw something funny. It said, did we go from July 4th to July 24th in 7 hours?
Right? Man, holy crap. It's
I mean,
almost
it
August.
feels, yeah, it's almost August already. Life's just whipping by.
Yeah, it's all downhill. You go faster when it's all downhill.
Absolutely. All right, what are you sharing with me today?
Okay, so when I got my 1999 Forerunner, the cloth seats were not in great condition, so I went and got the wet Ecoli Life, their like
They're like
wetsuit
wetsuit
material.
material? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they're great, they're perfect, but it's been a few years, and I'm like, I really need to clean them, and I've been saying that for like a year. So finally today, I got the little Bissell wet whatever stack thing, and I squirted it, scrubbed it, cleaned it all off, and they were dirty. And that thing is that they now they some of the companies that have been around for a really long time, Bissell, right? It's been around forever. They think of like everything. So I'm like rinsing everything off. I'm like, oh man, that need, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course it comes off so you can clean underneath. Like before, certain little covers and certain little things used to be like glued on, so you couldn't and you could never get them clean. But now it's like they've thought of everything. They have the little lines of where you can fill to, how you put it in. It's all very very well done. I I don't know. I think the thing's probably $100 or something. It's not that expensive, but like it comes in handy and it worked great. And now the seat covers are clean.
Yeah,
Or
it's nice when things come in component pieces for that
yes,
reason, or for storage
yes,
too, like things break down for storage or for
yeah.
cleaning. Yeah, I
Or
know.
if one little piece breaks, you don't have to buy the whole thing and take it apart or do whatever. You can just get the
Right,
little piece. Yeah, they thought of
right.
everything.
Yeah, nice, nice.
So hats off to those companies that have been around forever that have thought of everything. I appreciate you.
That have figured it out. Good for
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
Um, well, I came across, I spent a lot of time on the socials the last few days, and there was this gal, she's some kind of, I don't know if she's a nutritionist. She's in incredible shape. She talks about menopause a lot. And, she just kind of popped up and she was wearing a Swan Lake costume. And she said, look, at my daughter has been doing dance for I don't know how many years. And she's like, you buy these costumes for the performance, they wear them once. It's like, I have thousands of dollars invested in these. She's like, I'm going to start wearing them to work.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
she's in a Swan Lake costume and like tennis shoes, just walking around her workplace. And, she walks up behind someone who's at a desk and starts talking to them, and they turn around and they kind of do oh, oh
Oh,
my. And then it shows her in like this spangly thing with the sequins and stuff, like the fringe skirt swishing around, and she's just like, you know, going about her workday. And I just thought, well, that's a fun way to liven things up and get
yeah.
another
I
wear.
mean,
It's like a wedding gown.
sure.
What are you gonna do with
Yeah.
that? Put it on and
Well,
clean the
that's why I
house,
always
mow
thought,
the lawn?
yeah, if you were going to go on a job interview, they say you should dress your best. Well, wear your wedding gown. Like, you'd be
Wedding
memorable.
gown.
They wouldn't forget you. You'd make a
Oh, that's
very,
too
very
funny.
strong first impression.
Yeah. So I just thought that was cute. Um,
That's very fun.
so
Yeah, there was
today's
a mom who
yeah.
had like a kindergartner who was in like it looked like a flower girl kind of dress. And she goes, well, should I just let her wear this to school? And I'm like, I mean, if you don't care if it gets dirty, yeah, let them wear whatever. Pick those battles later.
Mm-hmm.
Real.
Yeah. All right. So our topic today, it's summertime, and this month, especially July. It used to be August, but now that school starts so damn early, July is the big vacation month, and people travel, summer vacations with the families. And so we're going to talk about if someone were coming to visit your town or your state, what are the
Your neck of the
must-see
woods.
things that you would tell them you have to see this? So living in Southern California, you can speak to that. I'm still relatively new to Arizona, so I'll just kind of cover the highlights and what I know so far and what I want to see.
So that's right. This comes about as we're planning a little jaunt off to Nashville, and like Reddit seems to be a pretty good place to get some good tips, and a lot of the major metropolitan areas have people that go visit, and there's lists and there's things, and there's a visit Nashville, and there's all kinds of like a 1 day itinerary. There's a ton of different stuff, and there's links and there's clicks, and I get so frustrated when I see some that are in my area, Orange County, and it'll be like, "Oh, I'm coming to town. Well, what should I do?" Okay, well, where in Orange County, because it's very long, and do you have a car? What do you like to do? Like, if I'm going to go, "Oh, go hiking and do this," and you're like, "Oh, I have a broken leg. I can't do." Okay. So give some information, right? So when I posted the one I put, I said, "We like a mix of must-see tourist things and must-see local gems that nobody knows about, and like, do we have to see the Grand Ole Opry, or is it like,
No,
right?" So I gave some more specific. No, we don't. That was the consensus. But like I gave
no,
like a gist, right? We don't mind walking
right.
if there's something a little further away. I don't mind renting a car for a day. We're gonna stay primarily in downtown. We're here for this many days. Like, give me some things, right? We like, we drink. We like music. We don't want to like, party all night. So I give more information so that their recommendations are targeted to me. So then,
Right.
as I thought about, there's a lot to do in Southern California.
Yeah.
Um, there's so much.
You
So
have
like
to
if
pick
you were,
one spot because you can't see it
you have to
all.
be, yeah, no, you
So you
can't.
kind of have to pick
Um,
one thing or
right.
like two things that are relatively close. And you have to give
Yeah.
yourself time to rest in
Ugh.
between because,
Yes.
and California, Southern California, everything is pretty spread out. You're going to need
It's
a
very
car.
spread out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But I thought, like, okay, if somebody were coming for 4 or 5 days, like, right, if you were a sports fan, and you were coming during your favorite sport like
Season.
season, right? Like if you were coming during baseball season, you could see a Dodger game, an Angel game, and a Padres game, like over the course of 4 or 5 days, probably. But you
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't be able to do much more. Like you could go to San Diego, maybe like take the train. Like you could incorporate some other things, and you might have a day to do that. But like those three things are going to be your primary, and you're going to plug stuff in around it. If you wanted to do football, you could, right? You could do a football game. You could do a college game on the Saturday and a pro game on the Sunday. And then again, you're going to fill in other things around that. So, like, I feel like when you're taking a trip somewhere, you got to have like one kind of core reason you're going, right? Maybe you're
Mm-hmm.
going because you like wineries. Okay, you're going to Temecula, but then you're going to spend 1 day not into, right? So you have
Right.
one or two things that you kind of plan around, and that seems to be
Well,
easiest because then you
and
can plug other things in. You got to
you
start
need
somewhere.
to you need to do your homework. And having been in the travel hospitality industry, having been for 20 plus years, I can't tell you how many times people would show up and they didn't do their homework, and then it becomes your fault that they can't do what they plan to do.
Yes.
Be aware of seasonal things that may be
Yeah.
closed or
Yeah.
weather concerns. things like that. And so, you're a good person to travel with because you are the spreadsheet girl.
Google.
Tom's the same
I
way,
got a
minus the
spreadsheet coming to you
spreadsheet.
later.
He'll look everything up and well, here's what is popular, here's what's interesting, here's the reviews on it. This is the time of day we should go see it.
Yeah.
It's like all that stuff makes a huge difference.
Huge
So
difference.
please, if you take away anything from this episode, do your due diligence about where you're going and leave room for things that come up. Because what we like to do
Yes.
when we travel is, we'll be out to dinner or out having a drink or just, wherever. And you talk to the people that are working, waiting on you, you know, and they know
That
where
live
the cool
there.
places are. They live there. And you find we've had some of the best experiences on trips from people that, you get a vibe. Oh, well, these people are okay. I'm going to tell them a place that, most tourists don't know about. So that's my hot travel tip.
Yeah, I like to have like half of it kind of scheduled or like a loose
Mm-hmm.
schedule, and then the other half open because, right, like same thing. Like when we went to Ireland, me and Zach, we met these two guys, and one guy was he was an Irish history, like he had a master's degree and was a teacher at the college for Irish history, so like he knows the whole country and the history, and we're like, okay, well, like what should we do that like isn't in the books? And he's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
there's a hurling match tomorrow, you guys should really go do that, that's really fun. And I'm like, in, it's $5 tickets. It was so much fun, and like if we didn't, we never would have thought of that
Right.
ever. And everybody says there's the Temple Bar, right? That's what everybody talks about. And he's like, don't bother going to you're not going to meet any Irish people at the Temple Bar. There's not
That's
a
all
one
tourists.
there. He's like, go to the
Yeah.
Celts Bar, which is where we went when we went. So
Right.
like, so again, I like having a couple of very specific things planned with like maybe one event as like the central. Okay, like we're definitely doing this, and then everything else is negotiable. And then it just kind of
Right.
makes it easier and then, right, you get a list of like 10 or 15 different things, and you're like, okay, here are some of the things if we don't find something else, or you show that list to the waitress and they're like, oh yeah, cut that, do that, do that. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
my town specific, you don't really need to spend a whole lot of time in Huntington Beach. I mean, unless you love to surf and you're just doing like a week surf trip, then you can come and surf to your heart's content if the waves are okay, but very often they're not. Or if you're here for like the air show or the 4th of July parade, or right, if you're here for some other thing, then there's like you could do like one full pretty jam-packed day, like start to finish, and kind of see what you need to see, preferably on a Tuesday in the summer. So like there's the wetlands, the Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve, where they have like a bird sanctuary and they do the like little presentations and talks, and then you can kind of go walk, and there's all kinds of very interesting birds that kind of come and go in and out of the wetlands. That's an hour and a half, 2 hours, plenty of good
Um,
places to eat.
do they have a Chautauqua every year?
Probably. I don't know. What's a Chautauqua?
So
Maybe.
Mono Lake would have a big Chautauqua every year, and it's like
Ooh.
it's I can't even tell you exactly what it is, but it's basically a time of the year where you're going to see the most migratory birds, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think.
probably. Yeah. Okay.
And we were having dinner one time at that mobile station that's right there overlooking Mono Lake. And my friend's dad, he was a little loopy. And these people were all there for the Chautauqua. And people are very serious about it. I mean, these are serious birders. And he was he was on fire. He was just with the one-liners he was asking these people all these like personal questions. Finally, they just got up and left. I'm like,
Just like, I'm enough.
but the
No
number
more
of
Chautauqua
times,
talk.
the number of times they said Chautauqua, and I'm just like, the Chautauqua. Oh, we're here for the Chautauqua. Have you ever been to a
Chautauqua.
Chautauqua? Well, the Chautauqua this,
How
the
do you spell
Chautauqua
that?
that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's Chautauqua.
I'm
T-A-Q-U-A,
kidding. I don't need to know.
I think. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, and then on Tuesdays in downtown, they have the Surf City Nights, which is like farmers market combined with like some, craftsy stuff. And there's always live music, and they cut down the streets. And then, of course, all the bars and restaurants are there. So, like, you could spend a couple of hours doing that. Um, you can
Yeah,
then
there's a nice little nightlife there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go, like, I think now for me it's not a big deal, but like a bonfire on the beach, if you've never like done a bonfire on the beach, or you're from someplace that doesn't have a beach, like that's
Yeah.
kind of a fun thing to do. Like you roast marshmallows, there's a whole, like, you can just kind of sit out there, watch the sunset, enjoy it. It doesn't get cold. It does sometimes get a little windy. In the off seasons, there's of course the overnight camping parking lot. They call it a campground. It's not. It's just overnight park. It's just
Right.
allowable overnight parking. We have Old World. So if you're at, Old World Village, they have all kinds. They have the Plum Festival. This weekend is the Pretzel Festival. Of course, they have the
I do love a pretzel.
Oktoberfest. Dude, their pretzels are good, and it's a festival. So they've got all different kinds, and you can get a
Yeah.
pretzel flight and a pretzel sandwich and a pretzel.
Oh,
And they have the dash hound races, and they have, so it's like all year long they have all these various different things, and then of course Oktoberfest. But like that's kind of a fun little, like, again, you don't in the city of, like, you don't need to spend too much time, but there's enough little fun little things. I mean, I can give you tons of different restaurants, but like actual activity, there's not like, right, there's not, I mean, Disneyland is adjacent,
right.
Raspberry Farm is adjacent, so there's plenty of little things to do just outside. But if you were coming to just my city, 2 days I think would be enough. Now, where I grew up, San Pedro, same thing. You probably don't need more than 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days in San Pedro.
Yeah.
You could probably get everything
Pedro.
you really need to see in a day. I mean, there's some cool stuff in there,
Well, we
but
used to go to the Cabrillo Museum every year.
yep.
With for like a school trip, and
Yeah.
when Marineland was there, you had
Yep.
Marineland.
You had Marineland, yeah.
Pedro is very maritime.
Yes. Central,
What's the word?
focused.
Yeah, focused. And so
I've never-
there's the Maritime Museum.
Yeah, there is.
There's
the USS Iowa, but that's fairly new, and I've never seen that. But there's like some
Yeah.
weird, there's now a giant like 50 by 50 sinkhole in the middle of the road. There's the
right.
Sunken City.
sinkhole.
Yeah, the Sunken City, which is cool. The Korean Friendship Bell.
Yeah.
The Little League that's on the cliffs.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, so like, there's some cool little things to see. The Glass Chapel is currently
It's gone.
taken
Yeah.
down.
I know.
Well,
and when-
they're going to put it back together, I think, somewhere.
So I was Pedro adjacent in the Palos
Yeah.
Verdes, and so when people would come to visit, we would take them to Portuguese Bend to see, the road sliding into the ocean, basically.
Well, I mean, the natural landslide is
Yeah.
it's bizarre, and like
Yeah.
it's unique, and it's
It's
interesting.
interesting. And we'd take him to Wayfarer's Chapel, the Glass Chapel.
Yeah.
And we would go to Marineland. Everybody always wanted to go to Disneyland when they'd come to visit. So we'd do Disneyland,
Yeah.
which was like on a good day with not much traffic, like a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios. They
Yeah.
wanted to do all the theme parks and stuff.
Well,
The beach. There was always
Yeah.
the beach. Having grown up at the beach, I think we take the beach for granted.
for sure. For
Because
sure.
a lot of people don't have a beach. And
Yeah.
so, that's a lot of what we would do.
Yeah.
And mainly theme parks, the beach.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Then I started thinking, like, if you are like an iconic music venue, kind of like if that's your jam, and you're like, you like most music, and you really just want to kind of see venues, not necessarily following the bands, but like the Hollywood Bowl, the Greek, the Palladium, the Wiltern, the
Yep.
Troubadour, the Rainbow Room, like you
yeah,
could.
there's so much.
So there's
so
so
much.
much, so much, so much, so much.
Hollywood, people would want to go see the Walk of Fame and the
Yeah.
Grumman's Chinese Theater
Yeah.
and
Now it's just drive by and wave. Don't stop.
Yeah.
It's nasty
Yeah.
down there now. Art's right.
Yeah.
There's the LA County Museum of Art, the Tar Pits, both Gettys, the Museum of History, the Museum of Illusions. There's a Museum of Death, a Museum of Contemporary Art, the Museum of There's a Grammy museum.
Rose
There's so many.
Garden.
The Rose. There's so many
Yep.
things. So many things. But you can't really realistically pack two in a day unless they're next to each other.
Right.
Because
There's a lot
even
of
if you're
driving.
like,
A lot of
even
driving
if
to
you're
see
like,
stuff in LA.
oh, it's 4 miles down the street. That could take
Yeah.
an hour and a half. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Traffic
I
is horrible.
I recommend when people are like, "Oh, I'm coming for a visit. Like, what's the traffic like from here?" And I go, just go to siglert.com at the
Mm-hmm.
times you're going to commute, and you can see all the reds. Like it goes red, yellow, green. Red is like bumper to bumper. Yellow means it's slow, but it's moving. Green means 70 miles an hour. And it just gives you all the maps and they're all color coded.
Yep.
And it just, you don't have to pay for it. It's free. You just log into it and you can look and see how bad it is. And that's,
Well, and
that's a
and
good
everybody,
place to
there's the
look.
Hollywood sign,
Yep.
there's Venice Beach,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of iconic landmarks, and people would say, "Oh, I want to see a celebrity." Well, you're not going to see one in
Yeah.
Hollywood. And we
No.
used to laugh. We're like, "Okay, if you're flying in, pay attention while you're in the airport.
Yeah,
That's
airport.
where you're
Look
going to
for
see a
look
celebrity.
for yeah, or
That's where you're going to see one."
take the TMZ tour. You might because sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
pop in and off of that. Or you
Yeah.
go to Malibu, go to Air One, and
Oh
spend
God.
$72 on a strawberry and a
On a smoothie.
smoothie, and you'll probably see one.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I mean, there's so much. Oh, I remember one time somebody came to visit us and they said, "Oh, I'd really like to see Big Sur."
It's
We're
not
like,
well. That's
that's a
not.
little
It's not.
far.
It's
It's
not.
not right here.
It's not.
It's not
Yeah.
a drive up the road. It's,
It's not. That's
like
not.
eight
I mean,
hours.
even if you're just right, like you're like, oh, right, if you were gonna do a, let's say you were gonna do a baseball and you saw a Dodgers game, and then you're like, okay, I'll spend another day here, and then I'll drive down to Orange County, see an Angels game, spend the night, and then drive down to San Diego and see, like, you have to allow for a very long drive time in between.
Hmm.
Like, you
Yeah.
can't like back to back to back is tough because then you literally aren't doing anything else. Like you're only because then you're leaving one place to drive. You might get to see go to dinner or do a little shopping or something, but there's not anything else to do.
Right.
Um, a fun day that we used to do that I recommend if anyone's coming to town and has time, if they're staying in the general Orange County area or San Diego, is hop on the train, go to Del Mar, see the races.
Hmm.
Um, from the
Del
train
Mar is a
station.
beautiful racetrack. It's a beautiful racetrack.
Beautiful
And it's
racetrack.
like you can see the ocean,
It's
you know?
beautiful, and
It's gorgeous.
they always have stuff going on. So like even if you don't love the racing part of it, they always have something like a band in the outfield or
Hmm.
food trucks or
Hmm.
um they from the train station to the racetrack, you get free shuttled on a double decker bus. You can where the train drops you off, you could shop and eat and kind of hang out there for a couple of hours and then like
Hmm.
there's other stuff to do where you don't have to worry about too much and the train ride is actually fun and most of the people on a Saturday are going to the track and
Right.
they're starting early and the train ride home is always full of sadness and despair. But it's just
Uh,
it's a it's a good time. It's one of those
yeah.
like if you're like, oh, we have a Saturday and I'm not quite sure. It's kind of unique, not every place has a horse race, certainly not on the
Right.
water. And there's more to do than
Yeah.
just horses, and it's pretty.
Well, when we first moved here, there's a racetrack out at the fairgrounds. And I was like, "Oh my God, I would love a day at the races." Well, it's been closed for I don't know how many years. And I don't know the details of what's going on there, but I just thought, wow, what a waste, you know? That'd be so fun to just have a day at the races. I mean, me and like I've said, the horses and I have a deal. I don't like them and they don't like me, but I like to watch them. I'll watch a horse race. I'll pat on the nose. I'm good. But, I don't want to be on a horse. I like them on the other side of the fence. But, yeah, I just thought, wow, what a waste. I really wish somebody would come in and get that thing banging because that would be a lot of fun. But, yeah, Del Mar.
Well,
Now, is that where they do the Del Mar Fair? Do they do it at the racetrack or is that
yes,
somewhere else? That
And
okay.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
do it at the racetrack or right, but
Right,
it's
right,
either
like
at it or
right
right
there.
next to it, or it's
Yeah.
right in that general area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're coming during fair season, right? The Orange County Fair, the LA
Mm-hmm.
County Fair. I mean, they're all standard fairs, but like, you get some pretty decent bands at some pretty decent prices, and
How
you're
about
gonna,
the Renaissance Fair?
yeah, I think that still
I
happens.
mean, isn't that one of
Yeah.
the biggest ones in the country? Is the one in where is
Maybe
it?
it's
Riverside?
Pomona or Fontana or
It's out there and it's
the,
hot as hell
yes,
because it's in the Inland Empire, the IE
yes,
as we like to call it.
yes, or the 909, commonly
Yep.
known as, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I would say if you love breweries,
Oh,
Southern
San
California
Diego.
San Diego is big for it, but all of Southern California, any cities, you could
Yeah.
do a brewery tour. There's lots of them
Lots of
all
them.
over, lots of them. If you are an outdoorsy person, all year
Lots of
round, we
hiking.
have lots of hiking,
Lots of
surfing, golf,
surfing, skiing, all of it.
skiing, water
Golf.
skiing, fishing, camping,
Yep.
snorkeling. Yeah,
Yeah. There's
a
a
lot.
lot.
There's a
A
lot.
lot.
There's a lot. A lot.
All right.
A
You
lot.
ready for Arizona?
I'm ready for Arizona. Bring
Okay.
it.
Okay. So, having just moved here 3 years ago, I haven't seen a lot of the state. And I'm in what's considered northern Arizona. So,
Yes.
we did do a Grand Canyon trip prior to moving here several years ago. Now, again, this is one of those things. It's a big park. It's big. So you kind of have to pick what you want to see. You're not going to see the whole
Right.
thing. There's different sides. I think the northern rim, the southern rim. Um, Honestly, I can't remember which one we saw, but um, it's one of those. This is larger than life type of things when you see it.
Right.
It's massive. It's huge. It's vast. So we kind of we stopped at the different little, uh, what do you call it? Centers, visitor centers, read all the little things. There's little, places you can go out onto where you're kind of overlooking the rim. You can see the river down below. Um, we did not hike down to the bottom. I'm not doing that.
No.
But there are these ledges that are outside the little fences that are set up that people will sit on or stand on and take pictures. And I'm just like, oh no, oh
That's
no,
like
no, we're not doing that.
the tour runs of Yosemite, which are the
Mm-hmm.
morons slash tourists that
Yep.
do really ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Yellowstone right now with the bison, people are, getting the guy flying up
The
in the
grandpa
air.
that he got. Yeah.
So, yeah, they really, unfortunately, I feel bad for the rangers and the park personnel because they got to deal with all that. You can't control people, and you really have to rely on people having common sense and not doing stupid things like that. And that just sometimes doesn't always exist. So, but again, do your homework because, not everything's open all year round, and pick
Yes.
where you want to go.
Some
Um,
a lot of places are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
yep.
That's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
thing. So I always like to like when
Yep.
Sonia and I were when we went to the Getty. I was like
Mm-hmm.
Monday or Tuesday works, and she's like, "Well, they're closed on Monday." I'm like, "Well, then Tuesday it
Yeah.
is, right? Let's
Yeah.
take a
Everybody
look."
needs a day off. Ever since
Yeah.
COVID, it's hard to find anything that's open 7 days a week anymore, especially in smaller areas. Now, where I'm at in Prescott, now don't say Prescott, it's Prescott, like brisket.
I will
Um,
say Prescott.
you can. Now, I'm only about an hour and 15 minutes from Sedona. And again, Sedona, gorgeous, one of those things where you're driving up and you're like, this is like a painting. However, Sedona's getting very crowded. It's not a big town, and the roads are not equipped to handle the amount of traffic that they get. So be prepared to sit in traffic. And again, it's big. There's quite a few areas to see there, so kind of pick one, and pick your time to go because it is Arizona. It is
Oof,
hot
yeah,
here.
it is.
Now, where I'm at,
I can attest to that,
yeah,
July.
I'm about 5,000, maybe 5,500 feet, and I don't know the exact elevation here. So we call this the cooler side of Arizona. And
Yes.
being only 2 hours from Phoenix, we get a lot of people that come over here during the summer this time of year
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a lot cooler.
Yeah. I would imagine
Um,
there's probably a lot that go to Flagstaff too, the
mhm,
vacation home in Flagstaff.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. So here specifically, what the main points of interest are Whiskey Row, which is basically a 1 block stretch of bars and restaurants, saloons, I guess you'd say, and Charlotte Hall, which is a museum that kind of chronicles a lot of the history of the town. There's a lot of lakes and hiking trails here. There is the Courthouse Square, or Plaza
Yeah.
as it's called,
Yeah.
and it is an actual working courthouse. It's huge. It's surrounded by a huge grassy park with a lot of trees and a bandstand gazebo that they just renovated. And they have concerts in the summer. They have all kinds of events that go on, car shows. They're almost every other weekend in the summer, they're blocking off the downtown area for some kind of event, an art show, a vendor show, um, stuff like that. So it's kind of fun, and I'm within walking distance of that, so I don't have to worry about parking or driving or whatever. We just walk down, check it out, come
Parking's the
back.
worst.
A lot of live music, which, we enjoy, restaurants, bars, shopping, little, cutesy little tchotchke shops, ice cream, a lot of ice cream. So it's kind of a fun little small town feel. It's been called Arizona's Christmas City. I think some
Is there a Christmas
politicians,
store?
I think so. Well, one of the gift shops does have a whole Christmas section year round in the
Okay.
back.
Okay.
And I think it was some politician's wife or somebody named it that. And so in December, usually around the first weekend in December, they light up the courthouse square. Every tree has lights on it. The building is covered in lights, and it really is really pretty. Um, so that's something that people will come specifically to see is the Christmas lights. And then every weekend in December, they have some kind of a Christmas. They have a Christmas market. They have a German Christmas market. They have 2 Christmas parades. We have a daytime parade. We have a nighttime parade. Everybody's vehicles and floats are lit up. So I mean, they love parades in this town. Love them.
It's like Louisiana.
Yeah.
We love a parade in Louisiana.
They also call this everybody's hometown. Now, with the
Sounds very Hallmark channelish.
with the influx of Californians and people coming from other states, specifically California, they don't like Californians here. They think that we're coming in with all our money and buying up property because it's so much cheaper than California and, taking things away from Arizonans and bringing, blue state values and screwing everything up. Sure, whatever. So they've changed it to everybody's hometown, but nobody wants you here. We
Oh,
have the world's oldest rodeo, which we talked about.
yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the world's oldest organized rodeo with prize money and that kind of stuff. Fort Whipple is here, which is now the VA complex. There's a very large veterans VA complex here. They love statues in this town. A lot of statues around the park and other places in town. You'll see them. A lot. They like to commemorate a lot of stuff here. And so Prescott is rich in mining history, as is the rest of Arizona. And that's kind of what got it started here was copper mining. And it also became a place where people would come that had some kind of ailment, some kind of chronic lung problem, tuberculosis, that kind of thing, because of the fresh air, the higher
Yeah.
elevation, out of the pollution of the city. It wasn't going to cure your tuberculosis. It was just going to, make you more comfortable while you died. And New Year's Eve, we have a big thing at the town square. Again, the town square, fireworks. And they do a boot drop. So they have a big, a big, instead of a ball drop like
Right.
a Times
But yeah.
Square, it's a giant, um, neon lit up
I
boot
want I
shape,
want
and
so
they
badly
drop it.
for I want so badly for there to be a town crier that has a bell that goes running out with big news every now and then. I think that should become a thing.
Could
Come
see
ringing
it.
the bell,
I
ring,
could see it.
ring.
Hear ye, hear ye.
You just open the scroll.
Yep. Now, one,
When I think about stuff like that, I always think about Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and how I
yeah,
want so badly to go to the reading of
Groundhog
whether or
Day.
not
Yeah.
Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, so bad. One year I'm
Yeah,
going to do it.
that's kind of turned into a shit show though. And then did one
Of
year they dropped
course.
him, I think, the poor groundhog. Um, yeah, it's a big deal though. They get all dressed up in oldie time
Yeah.
costumes and um yeah, so I had another thought and then you interrupted me and I forgot.
Sorry. That
Oh,
happens.
so Arizona is known as the state with the most ghost towns
Okay.
because of all the mining history and all of
Yeah.
the, towns that popped up and then were discarded when the mines were tapped out. Now, we did take a trip to Tombstone back in February, and not having seen the movie, but being familiar with the story, Tombstone is a big tourist trap. I mean, it
Oh,
was
for sure.
fun.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
fun. We did it. If I was a 10-year-old boy, I would have loved it. And very cute. A lot of the original buildings and stuff is there, and they do reenactments and all that stuff. Um, so we did it to see it. But then we spent some time in Bisbee, Arizona, which is south of there, and that's a cool little town. Also a mining town, with a lot of like these cool little windy walk streets and lofts and bars and restaurants. And so I think we may go back there and check that out a little bit further. We just kind of spent the day there, but that's a cool little town. I'm not far from Jerome, Arizona, another funky little copper mining town that's literally built into the side of a hill. The lead singer of Tool, Maynard,
Oh,
is a
Tool. Yeah,
resident there,
Maynard. Yeah.
and
A lot of
he's
people don't
got
like him.
no, he's got vineyards over in that area.
Hmm?
That is a wine
Yeah.
growing area
Okay.
below Jerome in the Verde Valley, and he's got businesses related to like a winery. He's got a tasting room up in Jerome. Cool little funky town. And so we'll take people there sometimes if they come to visit. I always joke that, you park the car, you get out. If I fall down, you're not going to find me because I'm going to roll all the way down that
All the way
hill.
down. Straight
Um,
down.
but it's fun to spend a day there. They have some funky things there. Also, let's see. Yeah, I'm not far from Flagstaff. That's about an hour and a half drive. There is a
It's a
ski
lot.
area there.
Flagstaff is a lot more like, um, makes me think of like Big Bear and Arrowhead, like mountainy and
Hmm.
pines and that kind of feel than Prescott is.
Yeah, it's higher. It's about 7,500 feet, and it's a college town.
Yeah.
Um, so we've been back and forth to there a few times. But yeah, definitely a lot cooler. The Purina factory is there. When you drive by, it
Huh.
smells like dog food.
Ew.
So when we did our, not the wet kind, the dry kind, so it's not gross.
Still
Um,
gross.
when we did our Grand Canyon trip, we stayed over there in Flagstaff as our base of operations. And there's a lot of pueblos, a lot of
Okay.
Indian
Yeah.
structures that are original to the area. So we checked out a few of those. Those are kind of interesting. Um, they're literally carved, built into like a canyon.
That's
So, I
wild.
mean, you literally walk down this trail and you're going into these rooms that are literally just kind of like spaces carved out of the interior of a canyon with like little kind of brick, um, not brick, but stone, kind of little pathways to kind of keep you from completely falling off.
Wow.
Um, yeah. And just interesting how, the way of life back then. So, yeah, I mean, we haven't really explored a lot of Arizona, but Phoenix is kind of a toilet. I don't need to spend a lot of time there.
I
Although
mean,
Tempe is fun,
Tempe's, Tempe's fun.
because you have the
Yeah,
university there and the
yeah.
whole little downtown area. That's
But it's a
fun. But
lot like every other downtown area.
major
Like
city,
it's
yeah,
not right. There's not that there's gonna have like its own little right. Like even our little downtown area. Yeah, it's gonna be like beachy and people are gonna be in shorts and flip flops because it's summer and like the beach is right there and there's a lot of taco. Like, but it that experience is not super unique to any other
right,
experience in any other downtown main street. So like I always try and get when I'm going to some place like that, try and find the local where do like so if I'm
yeah,
going downtown Huntington Beach, the place that the locals go to the most is like Perks and Longboards, like the Sharkies and Killarneys and the rain like in the Aloha with the rainbow like no, that's not where the local people, not
right,
many local people go down there, but they do. They go to the more kind of like the ones that are not right in the middle, that are kind of like
right.
down the side a little bit or around the corner, or
Not the
that
high
don't have a
profile
big
places. Yeah,
yeah, that don't have a that are advertising PBR and not like a rainbow slushy, right? Like
yeah,
so there's usually a lot
yeah.
more old people in them. If there's a lot of old
Oh,
people in them, that's the place to go to, I
I
think.
remembered what I was going to say about Prescott. So, one of the things that we didn't realize until we moved here was this is a rehab town.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And so you see a lot of people that are walking around with backpacks that are here basically to fulfill some kind of most likely court
court
ordered
order obligation.
program because they got in trouble for some kind of drug related offense. Now, the laws and standards, guidelines, statutes here are such that you can fairly easily start up a recovery or ministry type of program. So that's why
Yeah,
this area is so popular for that, is because it's easy to do. And I never see the same people
well,
more
that's
than
good.
once. So I think they come, they do their program, and then they go home or wherever they go. So there is a Salvation Army downtown. So that is, they cater to, uh, they have the free meals and all that stuff and programs and showers and things like that. So, but it's not, I don't feel like Skid Rowy,
Right.
it's very taken care of. So you do see that element, but it's not,
There's probably, then I would guess that there's probably not a significant amount of fraud because usually when they are significantly fraudulent, that's when it gives you the more
yeah.
Skid Rowy feeling.
Right. But I'm driving to work at 5 a.m. and I think a lot of the places where they stay, where they sleep, you have to be out by 5:30 in the morning and go find something to do. Go, you know, do something constructive.
Right.
And so I see people kind of walking around that early in the morning, or I see people walking their dogs because it's so freaking hot that it's the only time of the day you can walk a
Best
dog
time to
without
do it.
killing it.
We're
So
burning
I do
its
see
little
them,
paws.
yeah. But the police presence is very strong in this town. This is also a very MAGA town, so
Yeah.
that can be that
It's
can be a little
very,
daunting at times.
it's also an open carry
It's an open
state.
carry state, yes. So you'll see somebody sitting at lunch with a gun. Um, and they're not a police officer.
No,
So that took
because
a
they
little getting
can.
used to. But and the town, the courthouse square is also where you'll see protests going on. So
Yeah.
we've had quite a few of those since we've been here. No Kings and ICE and all that stuff.
We get a lot of
Um,
that here in Magatown.
yeah.
The
So,
Huntington Beach Pier is a is definitely a gathering spot for anybody protesting anything.
yep. But a lot of good hiking trails, um, a lot of antique stores, which is kind of fun, thrifting and antiquing. And so when we first moved here, in order to kind of learn our way around, we would go to yard sales and estate
Oh
sales,
yeah,
and it's kind of you learn the neighborhoods and
yeah.
learn the different areas. So yeah, so we're enjoying it and just kind of trying to branch out and see other things. So, like on a Sunday, we'll pick something that's within an hour or two drive and go check it out.
Nice.
And yeah, so yeah, Arizona.
There you
Who,
go.
who
Yeah,
knew, right?
yeah, you know what? When I try, when there are when there are things to go do, I try and do it off season time if
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying around because it the traffic in LA is not a joke. It's very serious. It is frustrating. And when my daily commute is like 6 miles in all side streets, to then think, okay, I'm gonna have to go sit in bumper to bumper. Like I
Mm,
can't. Like I will go down a night before and spend a night. I will stay in. Like I will do things so that I don't have to do at least one way. That way, I can't do it. I did it
mm-hmm.
for too many years, and I can't do it anymore. And there's a lot. There's so much stuff just locally that I haven't seen or done. But also, like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't feel like I need
Yeah,
to. I'm
yeah,
okay with it. Like,
yeah. I mean, having grown up in LA, there was a
yeah,
lot that I never saw.
yeah,
And like I said last time, one thing I regret is not going to the Getty. I'm gonna have to come down and go.
yeah. You can get
Just,
there.
I like art. I like art.
Yeah, I don't. I
So,
mean, it's fine. It's art.
but it's you
It's cool
kind of get
building. It's a day. Yeah,
you kind of get you do the same things,
yeah, yeah.
and you don't really branch out a whole lot. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to retiring so I could travel more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I've
yeah.
seen a lot of this country just over the years with weddings and with meetings for work and um, stuff like that. But like, I've never been to, the Mid South or,
Yep.
well, no, I've been to Georgia. I've never been to Tennessee or Kentucky or,
No,
been to the
no.
Midwest. I've never been to like the Dakotas. I haven't been to, well, I've been to Texas, but didn't really see Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to San
I
Antonio.
traveled. Yeah, I've traveled a lot for work to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
like the southwestern states, but like never really stayed in any. Right, like it's
Right.
usually a 2 or 3 day trip, or it's been so like you don't. I don't like.
You don't get to get
I
out and
might
see
have
stuff.
I might have a half a day to go see something, or a customer might have taken me to go see something, but I never
Right.
like. Sometimes if it's like if there were something really really cool, I'd take an extra day and go do it,
Mm-hmm.
and then that would just be my own expense. But most of the time, I just want to get back home because I'm just it's when it's work, it's not.
Yeah. It's
You're
not
just you're
fun. You
over
want to
it.
just,
You're just
you're
over it.
done.
You're
Yep.
not in vacation. And then if you're then you can't necessarily if your customer knows you're there and you're doing vacation things, you don't necessarily want them to see that, or
Yeah.
I don't want it. I just want to do my vacation. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to our little jaunt to Nashville. It should be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Should be fun. Should be fun.
Yeah.
Nashville. Everybody talks about how great Nashville is, and I've never been. So we're
Yeah.
gonna find out.
Yes, we
We're gonna
will.
find out. Yeah.
All right. Well, what you talking about, Willis?
Well, we all know the term staycation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. But there's some other ones that I thought we could review. There's a microcation, which is just like a 1 or a 2 day.
Mm-hmm.
There's what we're going to do, which is a friendcation, just
Mm-hmm.
friends going. There's a baycation, not vay, bay, B-A-E, because you're going with your bay, your
Like a boyfriend,
beau, bay.
girlfriend
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. And then there's leisure, which is a business leisure trip.
Mm.
Leisure. So
Leisure.
yeah, there's you just take two words and you cut them in half and smash them
Mm.
together, and that's whatever it is.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
we're creating new words there.
Well, I don't really have a what you talking about, Willis, but I do have something that I saw that just brought back a lot of memories of living in a small tourist town, since we're talking about
Ooh,
travel.
do
And
tell.
it's a video that's kind of gone viral. You may have seen it. And I hate to use the term influencer, but apparently this woman is an influencer with a lot of followers. And she is somewhere in New York. at a small town grocery store or
Oh
like a
yeah.
little general store,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
completely ripping on it and
Yes.
making fun of it.
Yes.
And so it's gone viral. And there was another someone that I follow. Basically, this guy, he's hilarious. He, in the funniest way possible, calls out people making fun of other people in their videos, like this woman was doing. And she has backpedaled and
Yes.
started, you know, responding saying, well, it wasn't the store, it was the situation. It was very last minute. It looked like it was a 4th of July trip and they were getting groceries and they it was their only option because they probably didn't do the research and realize that wherever they were going, this town, this wherever they were staying didn't have a grocery store and they didn't plan ahead. They didn't bring food. So this was their only option. And he's basically saying, look, bitch, this store is probably the only option for the people in this town,
Well, like
on a regular basis.
I am all for calling people out when it's necessary, but the amount of calling people out that is happening more and more, that
Yeah.
I would say maybe 10% are legit, but I love to see more people, right? Like you're in this small town and what a great little place and they have this
Mm-hmm.
is an option. You like if you forget
Right.
these things, here you have. They don't have
Right.
everything, but they got enough to get you through. Like
Right.
can we
So,
they don't get as many clicks,
and
but
the sad thing is that all that this is doing is making her account more
yeah, grow.
successful
Yeah,
and
of
grow
course. Mhm.
by, what's the expression? Even bad publicity is still
Yeah,
publicity,
there's
you know?
no such thing as
No
bad
such thing as
publicity.
bad publicity. And so that's all it's doing. But it really brought back memories of our little general store in June
Yeah,
Lake,
yeah.
which, it had a lot.
It had
It had
enough
a
of everything
it had a great hardware section because, you always needed stuff to fix things.
for sure.
And the nearest supermarket was a 40-mile round trip. If you had to go to like a Costco or something like that, that was 2 hours one
Yeah.
way into another state. So, I mean, I really get it. And I was kind of like, I was, I was
Yeah.
like, what an asshole. She really
Uh,
was just being an asshole. And it was this guy that was basically making fun of her, making fun of this store. It was kind of like, stop acting like you're in ninth grade and you're
right.
embarrassed to be there. And oh God, I can't believe, I'm sorry there's no Erewhon in a town of probably 500 people,
Right. It's not
you know?
necessary. They're not going to sell enough blueberries on one day to have to order more.
Yeah,
So this is what you get.
exactly. And they're not going to have the top of the line produce.
Nope.
They're not going to have,
Well,
you
that's
know,
because they don't know how much they're going to sell, and then if you but then
exactly.
you're going to you got to be they got to do the best they can.
But he was making statements like, "Look it, this is probably the store where someone's going to pick out a birthday cake for their kid, and you're
Yeah.
acting like you're going to get a disease from walking in here."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that component of hospitality anymore because
Yeah.
I
It's rough.
I was jealous of the people that, they owned the business, they owned the motel or they owned the restaurant because they could say whatever the hell they wanted.
Yeah.
You know, me working for big timeshare, I couldn't like tell people, you know what, get the fuck out and don't ever come back because you're being an asshole.
One
I couldn't
day,
say that.
I
I
feel like
couldn't
we
say
should
it.
one day a year should
Yeah.
be you get
Yeah.
to without being without be right without stepping over the line, and I know that that's subjective, but I feel like we should all have a day where we get to kind of say what we want. We get to be a little bit more real and we look a little more honest and not the customer's always right.
Just kind of get it all out and everybody would
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, and this same guy that I follow, he was telling a story about He said I was having lunch at a restaurant, and the table next to me, the girl said to the server, "Hey, I'm an influencer, and I could post this on my page. I have this many followers, and it'd be great if you could comp my meal, and I'd be happy to do that for you." And the
Oh,
server was like, I don't think I'm, in a position to do that, but let me get someone for you to talk to, a manager. And he says, "I'm sorry, we're not able to do that, but we'd be happy to put you on like a press list. So when we have an event or some special kind of
right.
thing,
You can be on the
we'll be
list.
happy to have you come." So then she starts threatening them like, "Well, I could just post a bad review instead."
Okay.
And they were like, "Okay." So he's like, "I looked at my server and I said, I'm happy to pay for my meal in full. And I would be happy to go on that list as well because she has this many followers. I have 5 times as many as she has. Here's my account." It was like, so that's why I really hate this whole influence. I'm an influencer. What? Really?
But
You're
also, like,
posting videos on TikTok.
let's be real. In, let's say, a place like Prescott or June Lake or small, right? Huntington Beach, maybe, like, if you were an influencer and you gave a bad review, what's going to happen?
Hmm.
It's not really going to change much.
No.
If you gave a great review, what's going to happen? You're not going to get this influx of people flocking to, like, the
Yeah.
people who live in the general area who respect you are going to are going to change their mind. Everybody else,
Yeah.
it's not going to do any good. It's not going to do
So,
any good.
okay, I think I told this story, but I couldn't remember who it was. But you remember we had breakfast at Silver Lake at the little
Yes.
cafe. We sat
Yep.
outside. Okay, so it literally has like 8 tables, okay?
Yeah.
And you have to wait.
Yeah.
If you get there and it's busy, you have to wait.
Yeah.
So I think is it Paul,
I don't
Logan
know.
Paul that does the
Paul,
MMA stuff
whatever.
now?
I don't know. There's two of them, and I don't know which one
Yeah,
is
they're
which.
brothers. Okay,
Yeah.
so one of them went there, apparently, and posted this shitty ass review and how
Great.
horrible it was,
Perfect. Great.
and he didn't even eat there.
Yeah. But also, like,
There was a wait, and they wouldn't say, "Oh, come on in and sit right down. Let's kick this person
no.
out of their table." No, they were like,
Yeah.
"We don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You're gonna wait like everybody else."
And also, their business and anything, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed, and they
Nothing's
were
changed.
totally not affected by it. Like,
Completely not affected by it.
okay, you know what?
Great. All
Whatever.
right.
Thanks.
Yeah. And had they done that and he did anything, also would not have affected anything because
Yeah.
it's in the middle of no, like the only people are going there are the people that are going there. Like,
Right.
it
Who
didn't
cares?
impact. Ah,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I mean, the RV park next door, I'm sure that entire complex has no idea who this guy is,
None.
and
None.
doesn't matter.
Nor do they care.
So, nor do they care. But I hated to deal with those entitled people that were like, "I'm doing you a favor by visiting
Okay.
this town and
Great.
spending
Okay.
my money here." It's like, well, you know
Perfect.
what? Joke's
Yeah.
on you, bitch, because guess what? All of the residents in that town probably get the locals discount at that store, and you're
Yeah.
paying 3 times as much because you
Yep.
didn't plan ahead.
Thank you for my
Thank you.
discount.
Thanks. That's my rant.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yep. So anyway, yeah,
All right.
that's all I got.
Well, in a few months, we'll be able to tell you about our trip to Nashville when
Yeah.
but yeah, it's happening. We're scheduling.
Yes, we are. Girls trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Be fun. Be fun,
Yep.
fun, fun. Yeah. Until then.
All right. Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Peace out.
All right. Peace in the Middle East.